beautiful night for lacrosse here in the lift-lock city of Peterborough, Ontario. We are almost set to go for Game 5 of this best-of-7 MSL Final Series. Joined upstairs in the press box, Spencer Tangway alongside great partner Pat Gregoire to call tonight's game. And it's a game where almost it didn't happen. Dylan Ward, a late hero for Six Nations with a huge stick save to keep it 11-10. Tonight, Peterborough home floor advantage. They're ready to win.
Oh, they certainly are ready, and as you can see behind us, you can probably hear it. The energy is loud. These people do not want to see a Game 6 because, as we know, last year, this very same Chiefs team crawled all the way back and ended up going to the Mann Cup where they won. So if there's a team that's going to do it, it's probably these guys.
Well, we'll take a look at what happened at the ILA on Tuesday night. It was a huge game for Six Nations. They came out scoring, but a huge factor, as you mentioned it. Adam Jones, a guy, 2 goals, 2 assists. Thurston on the other side, a couple of goals and a couple assists. But the big factor in Game 4 was how Six Nations was unable to finish a game again. They had a 10-5 lead heading into that third and final period, but again, they almost slipped away.
It almost did slip away, but at the end of the day, they did come out with a win. Doesn't matter how it's got done, they're at this point, and we'll see if Peterborough can close this out or if Six Nations is going to try to crawl back to Game 7 once again.
Well, we'll take a look at tonight's players to watch, and as we start with the Six Nations Chiefs, a guy that can get it done on any side of the floor. I mentioned his name, Jordan Durston, a huge threat on the offensive side of the floor.
Yeah, he certainly has 16 points so far in these playoffs, and he was unbelievable during the regular season. That guy's a human highlight reel. He's a guy definitely you're going to want to keep your eyes on.
And for the Peterborough Lakers, a hometown favorite, and that is Curtis Dixon, of course, a huge Calgary Roughneck, but they know him as Superman all around the NLL, and here, a guy that also can score on any side of the floor.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, talking about, Durston being a highlight reel, man, that guy right there, he's the best in the biz when it comes to pretty goals, and he's going to have to be on his game tonight if they want to come out with a win and, punch their ticket tonight for the Mann Cup.
Well, both those players scored 4 points aside, 2 goals and 2 apples apiece. We're almost set to go for game number 5. Be sure to stick with us here on JVI Video as we get you set. Game 5 face-off is right around the corner here on the JVI Sports Network. The fans are ready to go, and the official mascot of the Peterborough Lakers is ready for game number 5. We're live inside the PMC Center, a packed house for this game number 5 as we'll get a look at tonight's starting goaltenders. For the Six Nations Chiefs, a goaltender that's a no-surprise shock, and of course, Dylan Ward gets the nod once again.
Yeah, no doubt. You talk about that comeback that they had last year, a big part was because of this man right here, and if they're going to do the same this year, he's got to be, if not their best player, one of the best players on the floor.
And on the other side of the floor, if you're a betting man and you flip-flop, of course, you're going to see this guy in net. Evan Kirk goes back in net.
And that's the luxury that this Lakers team having Evan Kirk and Matt Vince. They're able to, go back and forth. Some people maybe think that it's better off to ride with one. Well, the Lakers have been doing it for at least the last 2 years, playing that 1A, 1B, and I mean, it has worked out pretty much for those 2 years, getting all the way to the Ontario Finals.
Well, if you're just joining us for this first game of the series, it's a 3-1 series lead for the Peterborough Lakers, and just like that, the Peterborough Lakers win the opening faceoff, and Withers didn't even have to do anything. Huge note, Thompson not in the lineup, of course, with a lower body injury. He will be out for a couple games at least. Peterborough starts with the opening possession of tonight's game. Packed house, as we mentioned here at the PMC, as they started with the lefties on the far side. 13 on the shot clock. They swing it over to Evans. Evans trying to get around Billy D. Smith. The pass out front, they score. Quick release, and the Lakers find themselves on the board early, just like they did in game number 4.
And that's absolutely the start that you want if you are the Peterborough Lakers. You want to get on the board early and get this fan base involved. Great little dip pass, and Holden Tony, what an unbelievable season he has had, turning into one of the more dynamic goal scorers in all of Major Series lacrosse.
Well, Holden Katoni put in 2 in the third period, the late stages of the third, to kind of bring the Peterborough Lakers alive in that game number 4. Unfortunately, the penalty shot we'll talk about that a little later. His penalty shot in that game, he will never forget. Tripping on the carpet at the ILA. Peterborough wins the face-off once again, and they come right back down the throat of the Six Nations Chiefs. Chiefs trying to stay alive here and force a Game 6, which will be back at the ILA on Sunday night. Dixon the shot, right off the face mask. Rebound, never caught a piece, and a crease call, so Six Nations gets the ball.
Good bounce back possession there for the defense, and of course Dylan Ward, probably not where he wants to soak that shot, but last thing you want to do if you're a goaltender, give up 2 straight goals on 2 shots.
They swing it through Dawson, now to the far side. Dawson just trying to cause havoc in opening shooting lane up top. The pass was intended for Stotts on the far side. He's got to pick it up off the carpet. Stotts comes around Dawson, the roll. Dawson, miscommunication, low outside shot. Kirk slides across and makes the pad save.
Yeah, good possession there for the Chiefs, but just like you said, a little bit of a miscommunication there.
Peterborough now trying to make them pay, make it a 2-0 lead early. Over to Evans on the far side. Evans coming around up top. Looks to go with a quarterback spot. The shot's going to go high and wide. Racing around after it. Six Nations unable to get that ball. Dancing around the crease, but the pass is picked off by David Brock. Late hit is going to draw a penalty against Peterborough, and the fans not having any of it.
And as they usually don't, this Peterborough Lakers faithful always let the officials know how they feel, and not too happy with Josh Hiltz with that call, but I think that's definitely the right call.
Randy Stotts has it. Stotts to the near side, and the shot is under Evan Kirk somewhere, and that'll bring us to our first power play of the game as the Chiefs will take a 5-on-4 opportunity as we've played 2 minutes 26 seconds of the game.
Sean Evans, obviously known as one of the deadly power playmakers, 5-on-5, whatever it may be. So deadly for setting up plays, but one of the other reputations he does have is mixing it up behind the play, and that one there just caught him. His reputation, obviously, Hiltz looking out for that one there.
Well, he leads the MSL in his career in penalty minutes, but he also leads in every other category as well as they get it to the far side. Up top, Stotts the shot. It's going to go wide all the way back in front of the Laker bench. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Power play. No shots on net yet as Dawson brings it in. Dawson up top for Stotts. The shot off the head of the stick, and that will just be a shot clock violation against Six Nations. A late hit, and that's going to be another penalty. Wow.
Definitely going to want to see another look at that, but another undisciplined play from this Lakers team, and a lot of the talk had been about how the Chiefs have to play with some discipline, but it's the Lakers here tonight maybe feeding off the energy of the crowd here. So we'll see. It just expires, and
it's tough because in that replay you're not really getting with the shot clock and the whistle blows. So tough to call. I mean, it is, I guess, a boarding penalty if you're going to call anything, but roughing the call.
Yeah.
So nevertheless, 5-on-3 for the Chiefs as Peterborough brings out the rag team, and they have too many men on the floor. And the officials catch it. I don't even know if Peterborough knew they threw that many out. They had 5 on at a time. But a miscommunication on the Peterborough side now gives the ball back to the visiting team.
Peterborough may have a 1-0 lead, but it looks like they're kind of out of sorts right now.
Power play as they go with the 4-man setup with Dane Smith up top. Fresh 30 for Six Nations. Dawson creeping in a little closer, behind the back pass to the near side. Back to Dawson. Down low to the crease. Nice move, but Evan Kirk read that all the way. A beautiful, nice veteran save by Kirk.
Yeah, it looks like Kirk's dialed in right now, which the Lakers are definitely going to need.
Dane Smith now. He's getting joined by Ryan Benesh, trying to double team the Laker to lose possession. Can't see who has it for Peterborough as they get triple teamed, but he gets out of it. And it's Jones. Six Nations now triple teaming him as Dan Coates and Merrill on the floor. Still with possession. Shot clock turned off. He's letting the crowd know they want to win it as the crowd gives it right back to him. Fantastic effort here by Peterborough, and now a penalty's drawn. A perfect penalty kill for Peterborough.
You almost had a feeling that was coming up there, and 10 seconds left to go here, so they're just going to wait until they get their man advantage.
Fans still a thunderous applaud as Sean Evans has it. First man out of the penalty box. As now the shot clock counts down as we're all even. Evans simply backpedaling as the net is empty. A man advantage now with a 6-on-5 extra attacker. Dixon to the far side. Dixon gets it back to the crease. Oh, what a stop by Ward.
Beautiful ball movement there from the Lakers, but Ward with an even better save. Diving across, and that's just the type of goaltender he is. He might be big and strong, but he is very athletic in between the pipes.
And you mentioned it. You said you could almost feel that penalty coming, and that's exactly what they deserve after 3 men on him. And not only did he draw the penalty, they killed the remainder of the penalty and got a great scoring chance.
Yeah, it's massive. I mean, you could, like I said, the Lakers looked a little bit out of sorts. Maybe they're feeling it that they could punch their ticket here, even though they are a very veteran team, and a lot of these guys have been there before. And then the 2 penalties kind of come, but the momentum definitely swinging back towards the Lakers here.
Well, one of the brightest stars on this Peterborough team quarterbacks the power play to start, and that's Holden Katoni. Katoni's got the opening goal. That pass intended to go to Turner Evans on the far side, just misses, but he picks it back up. Evans up top. Katoni wants it, he gets it. Stepping in the shot, nice save by Ward in his pad, and he gets the referee's whistle. Penalty kill for Six Nations has been one of their best all season long, and talking to some of their management, been best in franchise history. And this is what they do best. They really rag penalties, and they could just do the same thing Peterborough did.
They certainly can, and you have another guy on the floor who just joined in Austin Stotts. Might be a youngster, but he is great at ragging the ball as well, and he likes to do it too.
Jackson. He found an open way, smartly just pulls it out. 30, of course, turned off as they still have over a minute to kill on Benesh's minor penalty. Overpassed, but a successful pickup by Jackson. We'll see how much they could kill, but here's Stotts now with it. Stotts coming off a huge Minto Cup win as he cuts to the middle, slips out of his reach, and just can't get it before it creeps to Evan Kirk.
Oh yeah, he was unbelievable. Named the MVP. I had the opportunity to call it here on JVI Sports Network, and he's such a treat to watch. He was dominant at the Canadian National Junior A Championships. Don't know if he'll be dominant here, but I mean, last year we saw him in the Ontario Finals and the Mann Cup. He was one of the more dominant players there.
That shot goes wide, and it's controlled by Dawson. Stotts coming into today's game in his first MSL game of the season with 1 assist in Game 4, but did create so many scoring chances with Randy and company on the offensive side of the floor. As the penalty will just expire, so Jackson takes it a little deeper as Benesh cuts to the middle. Pops it back up. The shot by Dawson. And it goes in, they score. Fooled me upstairs as I thought Kirk had it under his pad, but no, it's a goal, and it's a 1-1 game just off the power play.
We see one team kill off a big penalty, and then the other one kills off, but this time, once it expires, they cash in, and Durston, our player to watch, and it looks like actually it goes off Robert Holmes' hand out in front of the net. And that's one thing with this Lakers team. They jump in front of balls. They block a lot of shots. But that's an instance where that kind of works against you. And you being with a goalie, love to see your players block shots. But at the same time, you got to be sure you're going to block it.
Well, and of course, I mean, these goaltenders are used to playing in the NLL. The fans at the other end, there's so much going on the floor. Hard to pick up on a little ball like that. But you're right. Any extra effort by the D or a stick, anything, will easily be a goaltender's best friend any day of the week. Good chance by Peterborough coming back, but it's controlled by Billy D. Smith. They push the floor to center. Benches, of course, here on opposite sides, and that's another huge thing I like about this arena. No advantage either way, just great lacrosse, fast pace. Swings it to the far side for Dawson, 13 on the clock. That pass is going to be a foot race forward as Peterborough is pressuring way deep as Jackson has Ian Lord all over him. The pass intended for Benesh as it's almost a shot on net attempt as well. but it'll be a fresh 30 for the Peterborough Lakers.
Lakers definitely want to try to get something going here already, just with it being tied. The energy completely out of this building right now.
Well, 2 goals. They scored one 27 seconds in. There's a nice shot right on the turf, but Evans got denied by the stick of Ward. 1-on-2 back the other way. Six Nations questioning maybe a too many men call, but penalty arms stay down to the officials, and now they come back the other way. Yeah, we've played 8 minutes, 45 seconds. 2 goals on the board, 1 aside. And Six Nations has answered. 15 on the shot clock. Up top, the shot. Ward well out to make that stop. And this is something Ward has battled all year. He goes in stints, goes into long runs where he can be absolutely solid. And then in the third period, he showed it. Sometimes weak ones can get by him if he just loses focus. Outside shot denied. Kirk makes the stop. And now they call too many men, and they're going to get it back. Chiefs will pick up possession at the halfway point.
You mentioned the benches being on the other side, and that's one thing, though, that the refs will watch. Pay attention a little bit more in this building.
Randy Stotts. Good pressure by Sorensen. Outside shot, scores. Randy Stotts gives the lead for the first time to Six Nations, and it's a huge outside shot that fools Kirk.
And that is a great outside shot take here, but we'll see a huge pit thrown up top. As Craig Point, the veteran, with a veteran play to take 2 players with him, and Stotts recognizes that, so he just takes that outside shot to beat Evan Kirk.
Yeah, weird hop off the turf, actually. I thought it bounced a little bit further away from the goal, but almost a dead hop, went right at his foot. As with carpets, of course, unpredictable at times, even if it's their home floor. And Josh Hiltz returns the favor at too many men now for Six Nations. Evans gives it off to the far side as they go east-west across the turf. 18 on the shot clock. Now they cut across the crease, but Dixon couldn't pull the trigger. He's got it behind the cage. Dixon takes a shot. Nice stop by Ward and a better rebound control. Pushes the floor quickly. They have a break. Off the bench, Benesh. The shot goes off the back wall, and it's picked up by the Lakers.
That's such a great thing when you have Dane Smith playing in the defensive end. He takes off almost every time and creates such offense from the transition game in the NLL. Plays mainly offense now, but going back to his roots, being a transition guy here, it's absolutely massive.
Ward reaches behind him, and the whistle was blown before it squeaked through the 5-hole.
There's that athleticism I was talking about.
Oh, and
my groin
right.
just hurt looking at that.
Absolutely right. For one of the biggest goaltenders in the world of this sport, he makes it look so easy on the toughest of saves.
No doubt about that.
23 on the shot clock. Lakers trying to find an answer. Ward, though, well out of his net. Shot never made it to him. As Dawson trying to pick it up, but the Lakers going to get it back. Let's go Laker chance begin here as Evans cuts into the middle. Try to swim move. Evans trying to wind and fire, but it's high. And Merrill pushes the floor up. Here's Smith. Smith, a one-on-one. As the help is going to be late. As now they find Craig Point. Durston is the other Six Nations chief coming off the bench with Benesh and Dawson joining now.
Penalty coming up as well, too. I think it's going to be for too many men.
Well, that's been the call of the game so far. As a beautiful shot. Kirk, though, Kotz's right toe, I believe, made that save.
Yeah, that one was destined for that bottom corner. But Kirk looks like he's dialed in tonight. He's been making some big-time saves. And, yes, as you see, Josh Hiltz there signaling that it was too many men. And definitely some words were said to these officials before, because both of them are doing a great job making sure these changes are clean.
I mean, when you mentioned that, of course, Kirk dialed in and Ward dialed in, it's almost a given. Like, you almost have to expect that they have to be good.
Yes.
And that's in the coach's plans, because any slip-up the two offenses on both sides could run you away.
No doubt.
And that's why I think it was a couple years ago or last year in the MSL final, there's blowouts. And just one night off, one slip, and the game gets out of hand. Back to Benesh on the near side. That went off the stick of the defender. Nations picks it back up, though, with 12 to shoot. Creeping in, Jackson just tried to get that one on net. Good pressure now. Loose ball battle. They're going to try and run out the shot clock. Nations picks it up to Dawson. Shot clock expires, and a shot is waved off by the officials.
It is sickening how good this Lakers team is blocking blocking shots, I should say. Hope especially. I mean, the captain just gets in front of everything. 2 block shots in that 30 seconds alone.
Well, now they go back to ragging penalties, and these are the 2 top teams.
Oh, yeah.
And 2 top teams at this stat right here. They move so quickly. As you see, Buchanan just simply move his feet, opening up lanes up top. Trying to find room. Good pressure, though, by Six Nations, keeping them well up top, not allowing them to get deep. Slipping under, though. Good move now to the far side. Fakes smart play, pulls it back out, and they got a fresh shot clock, obviously not running, but now they gain a little bit of breathing room as Dixon trying to find room. Good double here from Six Nations. Sid Smith just trying to pull him over the line. They still can't get over. Oh, and he keeps it in.
Wow.
What an effort.
I mean, the rag play is very entertaining and it's great, but it's unfortunate that they're so good at ragging. We barely get to see any power play time between these 2 teams, and their power plays are both outstanding as well.
Randy Stotts with the ball now. To his brother, the shot's going to go high and wide. Stotts trying to reach around Kirk to pick up that loose ball, and they give it to Kirk as a goaltender violation to swing at his stick.
That's Austin Stott's patented shot. He barely has any much of a release, just kind of flicks the wrist, and not the heaviest of shots, but it's so precise. He just barely missed that crossbar right there.
Under 6 minutes to go here in the opening frame. Ward pushed in the net, but the ball stays out. A save registered for him as now the ball's pushed up to Ryan Benesh. Benesh backpedaling into the corner as now he cuts in with Randy Stotts coming in with the possession. Stotts rolling out the shot off the foot of the defender, and you mentioned it again. Anything to make that block, they get another one. Benesh just trying to cut through the middle as they get the ball to the far side. Good pick and roll game. Stotts to the crease. What an individual effort by Evan Kirk to show off another highlight reel save. Play in the back. I missed it, but the fan sure didn't. Ward makes the stop. Full outreach pass. Kirk's well out of his net. Wow.
Risky play, but it ends up paying off.
Well, and they had no chance of seeing Kirk because Ward simply reaching and throwing it all the way that quickly down the floor.
Yep.
As Evans comes out, nice stop by Ward as he takes the crowd out of it once again. To the near side, Jonathan pushes the floor, and Dawson creeps in over half. 4 minutes, 39 seconds left to play in our opening period. Spencer Tangway, Pat Gregoire, and the rest of our JVI Sports Network team live from the Peterborough Memorial Center. Game 5, 2-1 Nations as they start with it on the far side. Dawson up top. Nice down low pass. And that's almost a miscommunication on Peterborough, allowing him to be that open with 3 on the shot clock. .20 seconds shot clock left to tick off as they get it over the near side. The shot, nice stop, and Ward pulls it back in. Six Nations with it. Jackson gets it back, 18 to shoot. Jackson creeping his way in. Good seal by Benesh. Up top it goes. Stotts pushes it deep. Randy, excellent work trying to open it up. Back up to Benesh. Good picked off, and now the Lakers have a 3-on-0. Off the bench is Coates. Here's the captain, Hope, to the near side, and they score. The roof has been lifted off the PMC with that tying goal. Robert Hope, a beautiful pass over to the near side to make it a 2.
Thomas Hogarth with beautiful patience here, but here comes Hope. There's that beautiful pass you're going to talk about right there. And it's just that extra second. It looked like he could have quick sticked it there, but we know how quick Ward is, so Ward's just about to creep over. What does he do? He waits, and just puts it over that shoulder.
Three and a half left to tick off the clock. A 2-2 game. Pat Gregoire will get us an on-floor interview during the first intermission. We'll talk about the first period and sum up the stats for you as well. Peterborough with momentum now as they get it to the near side for Evans. As Hogarth announcement gets the fans clapping once again. Evans, a good individual effort here, but Sid Smith's all over him. Up top it comes, delayed penalty against Six Nations, and Ward makes the stop, but the Peterborough Lakers are headed back to the power play. As the penalized player is going to be Billy D. Smith. It's a high-sticking minor at the 16:57 mark as Peterborough's power play has been deadly. Billy D. a little too aggressive on Evans, setting him to the turf with the high stick. And Holden Catoni will start with possession. Be sure to follow JVI Video on all social media platforms, including Facebook and Twitter, and check out the official website at jvisportsnetwork.com. Ward making his way back to the cage after our first goaltender water break of the evening. Holden Catoni starts with the ball up top. Here's Catoni now, and the Lakers trying to make themselves a 3-2 lead and regain that lead. They had it at the 27-second mark. Cross crease pass, Ward makes the stop. Several side-to-side cross crease saves for Dylan Ward, and he's got a couple tonight. Rag team goes to work as Jackson up top for Six Nations. Just causing havoc as they give it to Austin Stotts. Huge addition, can't talk about him enough. Stotts coming in, the shot wide though. Rebound controlled by Peterborough, and they get possession. 40 seconds gone in the penalty. Power play, their second look, trying to find that lead. Ball starts with the lefties as they creep their way up top with Catoni. Down low, Evans. Now back up to Catoni as they swing it through Dixon, now to Sean Evans. Sean Evans. Far side shot, gonna go wide. Sid Smith's there to pick it up for for Six Nations. As they gotta get it over in 10. Push the floor, they're over, and it's controlled by Durston. Back up top for Jackson. Six Nations, different approach here on the rag, really spreading the floor. As Peterborough, a lot quicker with their footwork. Six Nations rather, simply moving the ball and a possession called back in the favor of Six Nations. Quickly trying to get that one to Smith, and they're going to get it right back and a minor interference call. Just a reminder, if necessary, Game 6 of this series, Nations has to win tonight, will be in Six Nations, a Sunday night game at the ILA on the JVI Sports Network. Picked up by Dawson. Dawson creeps his way to the far side with 1:10 left to play in the first. Dawson simply killing the clock, doing his job as penalized player comes out of the box. Billy D to the bench. On the floor is Benesh. They send it to Benesh. He cuts his way to the crease, dances around, pulls it back up top. Durston to the far side. The shot, gonna go wide, picked up. Up top it comes for Dawson. Dawson the shot, off the back of the net. As Peterborough with 40 seconds has a possession and the chance at the last shot. Ball to the near side for Evans. Sean Evans trying to get a good chance at the last shot opportunity. Good pick. Dixon to the middle. Oh, what a stop by Dylan Ward, as that was a huge save, but a beautiful flip behind the back attempt by Curtis Dixon. And a timeout called with 22 seconds. Take a look at this one again. Nice pick, and what a roll. A simple pick and roll, finds him on top of the crease. Look at this. Almost a John Grant Jr. Beautiful toe save. And an individual effort by Evans to run and pick up that Lucy. Beautiful job to get the fresh 30 and a timeout called by Peterborough. Once again, Pat Gregoire will be down on the floor grabbing a Peterborough player for our first intermission interview. Glad you could be a part of this one. Just a reminder, any streaming problems, be sure to use a hardwire internet connection, as JVI streams in HD to bring you the high definition quality of lacrosse that you're seeing on the floor in front of you. "22 seconds left to tick off the clock, 22.1 exactly. Shot clock will be shut off, so it doesn't matter. And the ball will start deep in the corner to the to the right of Dylan Ward. Buchanan started it, but he just simply gives it to Evans, who's going to wait. And now they push it up top, waiting for the last shot opportunity. Buchanan's in the middle, going up against Billy D. Smith there. Near side it comes for Evans. Evans to the far side. Back over to Sean Evans, who's going to shoot. It's going to go wide, and the horn's going to sound. We have a 2-2 tie at the end of 20 minutes of play. An exciting first period that saw a bit of everything. Huge stops from Dylan Ward and Evan Kirk. Shots are about even. We'll wait to get the official shot on goal count as you see Six Nations head off to the locker room with a 2-2 try. Peterborough on the other side of the floor, heading in, trying to clinch this series and clinch their ticket to the Mann Cup and play the New Westminster Salmon Bellies, who await the winner of this series. We'll join Pat Gregoire momentarily on the floor as we get you set for our JVI Sports Network first intermission. So as Pat Gregoire gets set, we will throw it down to floor level as he is caught up with a Peterborough Laker after the first period of play.
All right, thank you very much, Spencer. Joined by Holden Gattoni. Holden, first possession. You guys score a goal. Since then, just one goal for your team, but it did come on transition. What do you guys got to do differently in this next second period?
Yeah, stick to the process. I think we played a pretty good period there, considering our starts in this series. A good start for us to get one off the hop, and unfortunately we didn't build off of it, but good to come out even the first period for us.
A big reason for it being such a low-scoring game, both goaltenders playing really well, but it does look like Evan Kirk's pretty solid in between the pipes right now. How much confidence does that give you guys up front?
Yeah, it's great. It's great to have confidence in our goalies, and we actually have two starters that we're lucky to have. And it's great because we know that we're not pressed to score every possession. We know that we're going to get a save there, and it's going to be a timely save for us, and we can try to counteract it on the other end and put a goal in their net. So.
Obviously, a hot start probably was big for you guys. You wanted to come out hot. Was that a part of the game plan to try to put these guys out and get the crowd involved?
Yeah, absolutely. It's obviously great playing in front of our home crowd. We have to keep them in the game the whole time. This whole series, we've kind of got it off to slow starts, and tonight that was kind of a focus for us. We can't get down anymore. Can't dig ourselves any holes that we have to crawl out of. We have to try to play with the lead.
All right, perfect. I'll let you get going.
Thanks.
Good luck. Holden Gattoni, one goal for him so far. We'll see if that offense can get buzzing. No doubt, if they are going to be scoring, he has to be involved. So when we come back, we will have the second period of action at the Peterborough Memorial Center here on JVI Sports Network.
Period one in the books. It's a 2-2 game as we get you set for the second period. Fans being entertained on the floor as we take a look at the stats in that first period. I mentioned 2-2, a very back and forth period.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, we saw that first possession. The Lakers came out flying. Shot comes in from the outside, but after that, things definitely started to slow down. Both teams trying to feel each other out. You see there, 2 goals each, 15-11 in shots in favor of the Chiefs. Face-offs, though, I mean, Peterborough, as expected, I mean, Jake Withers is one of the best face-off guys in the world, whether it be in box or in field. And then the penalty minutes, pretty similar as well. And like we see there, 0 for both teams. And that has a lot to do with how good the penalty kills are.
Oh, and that's why it's 2-2. I mean, if you let the power plays go to work, and really, that's a lot of penalties. 10 minutes of penalties called in one period of MSL. You don't see that too often. So no goals as both teams really being disciplined on the penalty kill. As we get set for the second period, this is where Peterborough has been able to really pick it up. And there's two guys that you talk about, Sean Evans and, of course, Ryan Benesh on the other side. You look at how many points they really accumulated in their years of MSL.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane, and it's the fact that and you see it right there, they're assist machines. I already said it off the top of the broadcast. Sean Evans, in my personal opinion, the best playmaker in the game right now, and Ryan Benesh not too far behind as well. 69 this year, 112 points, 71 just a couple of years ago back in 2015, and that was probably his best major series lacrosse season that he had. So no doubt both those guys help other players on the floor as well, and that's the Holden Katoni being so good this year has a lot to do with the fact that Sean Evans is on the floor. He sets them up so much, and a lot of these sharpshooters on the team, they're so lucky to have two playmakers like them on their team.
Well, the second halves of all the games have really belonged to the Peterborough Lakers. We're going to get you set right now for the start of period number 2. Glad you could be a part of us of tonight's broadcast. Spencer Tangway alongside Pat Gregoire as we are set for period number 2. Face-off underway. Peterborough this period is going to run from left to right. Six Nations in their away whites will run from right to left. Loose ball still being battled for off the dot as no one is seeming to be coming up with it. Everyone's trying to find that loose ball. It's almost like a Timbit soccer replay now. Everyone wants it. It's still not picked up as David Brock just tried to give a shove. And it's still going to go, and now it'll go the way of Peterborough. They win the draws, and that one took 30 seconds to win the draw.
Unbelievable. Rugby scrum, whatever you want to call it. That chewed off a lot of clock right there as Peterborough has no choice but just to fire that down the floor.
Stotts with possession now for Six Nations. Dawson just creeping in. Fakes, tries to go far side on Kirk. Beautiful stop. Kirk, by the way, of course, if you missed the first period, in net. And Dylan Ward in net on the other side of the floor. Both goalies were fantastic in the first, but an outside shot scores. And Evans makes it 3-2.
And there's the assist man we talked about just moments ago, showing that he's not just a playmaker. As we'll see right here, it all starts with the transition. Brock Sorensen dishing that one up right off the bench. And Evans just recognizes, you're not going to touch me? Fine, I'm going to rip this shot and beat Ward.
And Ward on that, didn't expect it. Well deep in his net compared to where he normally is for shots outside the dotted line. So a well-placed shot by Evans. And the Chiefs this time win possession of the face-off. Six Nations now looking for an answer as they announce the goal inside the arena here. Ball to the far side through Von Harris to Benesh. Benesh off the turf to Craig Point, who had a really successful year after being sent down from the NLL. Shot's going to go high. Benesh, nice one-hand pickup. Needs a shot though, 5 on the clock. Up top for Harris. Harris, good block, as it never made it. 18:20 left to play in period number 2. 1 goal is what it takes right now to give the lead for the Peterborough Lakers. Sean Evans off the bench has it, as now they come to the near side through Evans. Turner Evans, that is. Off the turf, beautiful save by Ward, reaching out for it. Evans trying to get it for Peterborough. He gets sent to the boards. Trying to find it. Dane Smith in there as well. Sid Smith for Six Nations. No one's coming up with a huge battle along the near side. Fresh 30. That's a huge 30 for Peterborough as they get it all the way up top. The shot caught a piece of Dylan Ward, and it's a foot race for it as it goes all the way back into the Peterborough end.
Smart change there by David Brock. He's absolutely gassed, comes to the bench, and out comes Brody Merrill. So at least one fresh body on the floor here for the defense for Six Nations.
Third offensive look as they've gotten 2 fresh 30s off the rebounds. Outside shot as they announce the attendance, 3,464. Near sellout here at the PMC, and no surprise at all. Near side for Randy Stotts. Uses the seal by Dawson. Tried to get that one into Von Harris, but he just couldn't squeeze. Peterborough pushing the floor on the bench side as this is their transition, a gold part of their game. They really, one of their bread and butters, transitioning the ball up the floor quickly. He gets pushed off, and now they get it through Katoni to the lefties here on the near side. 10 on the shot clock. Nice behind the back attempt to Katoni, doesn't work. And now with speed, here comes the Chiefs. Dane Smith tried to shoot, but he pulled it away instead. Left it for Dawson. Bomberry getting tangled up as he heads to the bench for a change. Now they get it over to Jackson. Jackson down low to Benesh. Off the bench, here's Stotts. Stotts the shot. Another soak. Story of the game so far for Peterborough's defense. Soaking shots left, right, and center. Off Benesh's stick, and that'll be another earned possession for Peterborough.
Yeah, this Peterborough defense is really locked in right now. We've mentioned the block shots so many times. They're definitely earning a ice bath after this game.
On his man, McNamara trying to keep them outside. That shot, low glove, but it just goes wide. 10 seconds to shoot as they get it down low. Now up top it comes for Evans, trying to just creep his way into the middle. Over to the righties on the far side. The shot well out, but it's wide, and the Chiefs get the ball back.
And the Chiefs showing there that their defense is just as strong as the Lakers, killing off that 30. Everyone talks about how good the offense is on both teams, but these defenses are so good.
Well, I'm almost waiting for when the seal's going to break, when the offenses are going to start clicking. It's such a low-scoring game for all the chances we've seen. As a huge defensive play, and now they got numbers back the other way for Peterborough. Off the bench comes the Chiefs. Nice stop. Rebound, though, controlled by Six Nations. And now they have numbers the other way with a 2-on-1. Stotts is the off-ball Chief. He gets it now. Back to Smith. Scores. What a passing play from Stotts and Smith, and they tie it up at 3.
And I don't think when you have those two guys together, they're going to miss too often. Stotts to Smith. See, Dane Smith just gets that back, and just one simple fake gets over the shoulder of Kirk, and Kirk not happy with himself there.
You can only blame yourself so much for, you mentioned it, two of the best in the world coming down at you. And a tough one for Peterborough to swallow, as that's a bad transition break for them, a 2-on-1 with two of the top on the floor. So face-off battle continues. A lot of battles off the draw tonight, whereas in Game 4, Six Nations really didn't even compete. Loose ball well deep, but it's won by Peterborough, and smartly just pulls it all the way outside. And now they get it coming in on the offensive side of the floor. 6 seconds to shoot, though. Outside shot off the back wall. Cutting in. Nice stop by Ward, and he pulls it back inside. Oh, what a snag. Bad giveaway. Here comes Peterborough back. Numbers with a 3-on-2. Caught Ward. Oh, what a goal. Ward faked, and he bought it. 4-3 for the home side.
Zach Courier with an unbelievable fake. We got to take a look at this once again. Pushing the ball in transition, and here it is, just whoop, and up and over. Ward almost getting back up in time, but not quite enough to get the head on it. And the Lakers take a 4-3 lead.
And as a goalie, you got to know your battles, and I kind of agree with why Ward did that. You don't expect that from a man like a D guy, tranny guy that can really show hands. Very nifty hands by Courier to put that one, the dunk, over the tallest goalie in the league, Dylan Ward.
Yeah, wow. Unbelievable.
While the lead shifts back the other way as momentum back in favor of the red and blue Peterborough Lakers. Ball to Evans on the far side. Cutting into the middle. Nice stop by Ward, as that's a well-positioned save. Six Nations pushing the floor, trying to find an answer here to play this seesaw game we have going. 4-3 for Peterborough. Stotts to Benesh. Gets it back to Randy. Randy the shot. Good rebound control as Stotts is pushed down to the floor by Sorensen. He's slow to get to his feet.
Looked like could have been a slash on the knee there, but no call as Stotts goes back to the bench and throws a heavy left on the glass.
Well, we know he'll be back as huge part of their offense. 10 on the shot clock. Trying to keep him out is Dane Smith. Benesh caught back on the defensive side of the floor as well. Shot. Ward well out to make that pad save. Loose ball battle, though. May have caught a piece of Evans' toe, but it goes all the way up top. They get a fresh 30. Quick late change as they get a fresh body coming on for Peterborough. Shot off the thigh of Dylan Ward. Well-placed shot to get a fresh 30. Peterborough now. Third offensive look as this possession is just wearing down the defense of Six Nations. Nice look to the middle on the pick and roll. Tried to do the dunk again, but Dylan Ward stands tall.
Unbelievable feed.
Shot's going to go wide as they had Point off the bench. And now they got numbers the other way for the Lakers. 2-on-2 as that's Bomberry coming in to help. Stays out of the crease. Knocks the net off, but Ward will put that back in place. And Six Nations sets up on the offensive side of the turf. Here's Von Harris. Pretty quiet night for him so far. Over to the far side. Durston. Excuse me, that's Stotts. Stotts trying to find his rhythm. The shot's not going to go on net, and that's going to be right into the stick of Hope as they push the floor on the bench side.
What a game the captain for the Lakers, Robert Hope, is having. Tons of block shots, a bunch of loose balls. That's a guy that wants to finish this series right tonight.
Well, I don't blame him there, and I think the team and the fans are on the same page as they don't want a repeat of last year. Can only talk about that so much if you're a Six Nations fan. Shot came in, and Dylan Ward sent his man out of the crease, so the Chiefs take over possession. Up top for Dawson. Dawson, who wears those bright whites, makes them very visible for you, the viewers at home, and one of the tallest players in the league. But such a great shot on him. Dawson to the near side, through Stotts, to the far side. Tried to just bring that one over top. Doesn't work. Stotts picks it back up, though. Randy Stotts the shot. Nice save. Kicked into the corner. Loose ball battle. And trying to pick it up, Jackson for Six Nations. But Evan Kirk runs into him, and he gets a little bit too aggressive. A moving pick called. Things starting to get really physical.
That it is, and Kirk still arguing, saying that his feet were planted, but the Laker faithful not happy with that call one bit.
Tough break for Peterborough fans as the moving pick gives the ball right back to Six Nations, and they get a breather. Nice stop by Kirk. Not sure what the whistle was for, but Peterborough nevertheless gets the ball. As the lone shot clock working in the building right now is at the other end. 20 seconds on the shot clock. As I'm waiting for a fan to yell, but I guess they wouldn't be yelling as they would take a minute 30 if they could. Shot controlled off the turf. The rebound picked up by Six Nations. As we almost cross the midway point of today's game. 10 and a little bit of change left to play here in the middle frame. Glad you could be a part of this one. Spencer Tangway, Pat Gregoire on the JVI Sports Network. Game 5 as Peterborough strips the ball and they have numbers back the other way. Cutting into the middle, the shot. Ward challenging makes the stop and they call through the crease, so Six Nations gets the ball.
Risky by Ward to come all the way out of his net there, but once again, smart play, and that's why he's one of the best goalies in the world.
Randy Stotts trying to find vision into the middle. The shot, oh, what a snipe. Randy Stotts, a bouncer, short side high, and it makes it an even 4-4 again.
Randy Stotts with a disgusting twister right here. There's basically nothing, zilch to shoot at, but he still finds a way to tickle twine here. Here he comes, switches, and just a perfectly placed bounce shot off that twister.
Wow. Whew. You look at the replay and you wonder how
did that get going?
How that never caught a piece of Kirk. Positioned beautifully in the net and somehow gets by him. 4-4 game as Peterborough. This is just becoming a stat that you can almost expect. They're going to win the draw. How does Six Nations adjust and answer? 15 on the clock. They pressure high. This is something, one of their answers. They try to pressure right when they can, as they have 8 on the clock now. Ball with the righties on the far side. Evans trying to find room and space. He winds and fires, but it's deflected. Almost a curveball on Dylan Ward. He reaches out, and they give it back to Peterborough. Ball to the far side. They send it all the way up top and go around the horn. Turner Evans around the seal. Nice save by Dylan Ward. And too many men. Ian Garrison running right with Dawson calls too many men. And you mentioned it earlier. It's so much easier to see when the bench are on both sides, as the officials don't have to look back at all.
Yep. Yeah, it makes their jobs much easier, but both teams still trying to, toe that line a little bit, play with a, push it just a bit, but both refs are on point right now.
10 on the clock. Runs to his offside. Evans trying to get a shot. Gets a good look, but it's right into the middle of the chest of Ward. Ward trying to stretch the floor to Dane Smith. It got there eventually after it got deflected. Austin Stotts cutting hard to the middle and now sets up on the far side. Gets it from his brother Randy. Now up top. Von Harris the shot. Rings it off the goalpost. Rebound, scores. And the visiting Six Nations Chiefs come back with 2 of their own. They have a 5-4 lead.
And you could start feeling the momentum build for the Chiefs, their offense. You talked about it. When is the seal going to break? Well, it definitely seems like the ball movement's working well. You get an unfortunate bounce right here from Harris, who's got an absolute cannon. But what do? They stay on it instead of lifting their head saying, we almost got one there. They pick up the rebound off the post and put that home. That's a team that does not want to go home tonight.
Well, and it starts just from their coaching staff. You got Richie Kilgore on the bench and then Cody Jamieson jumping on when he can. The men that have just helped these guys throughout the entire year, they're winners. They want to win, and so are the players, right? Both sides of the floor. They're never going to give up on anything, and that's why you see last year and you see these games that are blowouts, anything can happen.
Yeah, no doubt. These guys know they can do it. I mean, the rosters are pretty much exactly the same. Peterborough definitely, you could say that they have more offensive power, bringing in guys like Buchanan and Dixon, but the team that the Chiefs have here, pretty much the exact same team, with obviously missing Cody Jamieson, who was a massive, massive add coming back after he was injured. I'm sure they would love to have 88 on the floor, but they probably think they can do it without him.
Well, and you mentioned it as our director comes in our ear to bring up the point of Johnny Powless not playing as well, and so many guys, but that's the depth in both of these lacrosse hotbeds, is how many players can just come up and fill those spots.
Powless was in and out of the lineup too with an injury, so I mean, you talk about depth. These two teams that's why they're better than everyone else, is because of that depth.
Break for the Peterborough Lakers, but too many men called, and it's going to be a power play for the home side, is questioning it. But nevertheless, it's going to be a minor penalty coming against Six Nations at a time where they really don't need a penalty.
Definitely not. I mean, there's been so many times momentum shifts throughout this game, and the Lakers, can manage to score here, and it's pretty much got to be off the first possession, because the way that both these teams have been ragging the ball, the momentum goes right back on the Lakers' side. It has been such a seesaw battle here tonight.
Still looking for a power play marker tonight, as Peterborough will start with it up top. And I think you're right in the hammer. It has to be quick, as they simply move the ball up top. Shot clock once again only down in the far end. They have 16 on the shot clock. Evans looks to the crease. Nice stop by Ward. Loose ball controlled by Six Nations. They get it up to Brody Merrill. Merrill pushes it, one more pass to Dawson, who cuts in. Dawson has a break, looks to the bench. Harris comes in, caught a piece of the right arm of Evan Kirk, and now they got the power play going unit back the other way. Courier, he had that dip at Dunkel. He's got another break, but the pass just couldn't get back to him. Evans smartly and wisely backpedals, slowing things down as they wait for the power play to come off the bench. That would have been something if he went 2 for 2. Far side, shot off the arm, rebound controlled by Six Nations. As here is Von Harris now. Reg team goes to work. Minute to go on the power play. See how much they could kill off this as they simply two-man games on both sides of the floor. Now they send it to the far side. Back up to Dane Smith. The defense chant. Gotta love that in the lacrosse game when the fans supporting the defense. Ooh. Nice. Picked off by Matt Gilray. Gilray, one of the protected players that played locally here at the PMC for these Junior A Lakers. 20 on the shot clock.
He's had one heck of a rookie season here for the Lakers. In my opinion, I thought he was gonna win the MVP, but Bennett Drake winning it for the Brampton Excelsiors. Very solid pick there as well, but I thought Gilray is unbelievable this year.
The shot never made it on net as it went off. A defender, shot clock expires. And now a horn is sounded, and I'm not sure. Oh, they bring the too many men guy back in as the referees are going to come together. But you mentioned, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Matt Gilray, a guy that has been a huge factor for, on really both sides of the floor even, but a rookie coming in and really stepping up his game and being noticeable, being a guy all year long.
Absolutely. First game I saw him in Major Series Lacrosse, right away I said, this guy's going to, he's going to be able to make an impact pretty early. This big of an impact, not really too sure, but he has been great.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter. Use the hashtag MSL Finals, Lacrosse, and JVI. There's the Twitter handle at JVI Video. Of course, any streaming problems, be sure you're using that hardwire connection, as we want you to catch the entire 60 minutes of this back and forth lacrosse game. Game 6, of course, if necessary. We'll see you on Sunday at the ILA. Be sure to flip us a like on Facebook, facebook.com/JVI, and catch all your favorite highlights, big saves, big stops, and repeats of selected games on our YouTube channel at JVI Video Production. But this series, there's so many highlights already and so many storylines to go off of, and it's only Game 5.
Oh, absolutely. And this rivalry between these two teams have been so great over these last few years especially. I'd said it already. And it looks like there's going to be another penalty awarded.
The only thing I could think of is if the officials are saying he left the box on his own.
So it's a delay of game.
Tough break for the Chiefs, but there's Ward once again coming across, shutting the door. Lakers power play gets a full 2-minute power play now. Break for the home side, so they trail by 1. Up top, the shot. Gonna go wide all the way back to center. It'll stay in, and it'll be picked up by Catoni. Catoni to the far side off the bench with 13 on the shot clock. Twist shot, nice stop, picked up by Evans. Evans simply cutting his way to the top. Now down low they go. Back over to Sean Evans. Low riser, and they score. What a shot. Jones makes it a 5-5 game, and a beauty from the lefty.
Toronto Rock fans, if you're watching right now, get used to that outside rip as they just picked him up for next season. Jones, the pride of Owen Sound, with an absolute cannonade from the outside. Switching planes, and that's what you got to do against Ward. You can't take shots high to high, low to low. You got to switch planes, and Ward absolutely bites on that, and he goes over the shoulder.
So we're back even. It's a power play goal. I believe that's our first power play goal of the evening. Shocking. 15 minutes, 35 minutes gone. Someone finally found an answer. Left alone in the crease. Oh, but he just couldn't pull the trigger. Fresh 30 for Peterborough now. Fans right back into it here at the PMC. Be sure to tweet us and tell us where you're watching from and who you're rooting for. And we'll be sure to talk about all the fans who are so devoted to this league and the game of lacrosse as we try to grow it around the world. 10 on the shot clock to the far side for Evans. The shot off the glass, and it's a foot race for it. Shot clock's about to expire in 2 seconds. Evan Kirk coming out, look out. But I think Dane Smith respects Evan Kirk enough not to run him over as the shot clock expires. Picked up by Benesh on the far side. Now to Dawson. Dawson goes low, not under the seal. To the near side. Randy Stotts drops his shoulder, gets it over to Benesh. Dawson's open on the near side. Hard seal, now to the middle. Good look and a good offensive motion by the Chiefs, but they can't get anything out of it as Peterborough now back the other way. Right in on the top of the crease. Right on, nice move, and they score. A beautiful pass off the pick and roll. And just like that, Sean Evans strikes again, and it's 6-5. Can't say enough about this Peterborough offense as we get another look. Ball starts up top. Watch the up pick that comes from the middle. This is what opens it up. Simple pick, and now he's wide open as Buchanan slips in to make it a 6-5, 1-goal advantage for Peterborough. Face-off won back by Six Nations, a rare occurrence tonight. As the ball comes up to Craig Point. Craig Point, a huge outside shot and a huge threat all season long for the Chiefs. Cutting right in, taking it, and they score. A huge answer for Six Nations as they silence the crowd. Back even. Well, if you're Richie Kilgore, you can't ask for anything more out of your offense there, as Kirk may not have expected a quick. They scored with the 22-second mark of the shot clock. Just simple cut to the middle, and Jackson finds himself going 5-hole on Evan Kirk. Beautiful look from all our camera operators here tonight. As face-off won back by Peterborough. 3 to go here in the middle frame, tied at 6. Another huge game and another exciting MSL game in this Game 5 of the MSL Final. Of course, the winner will go out west to New Westminster. That series doesn't get underway until the near middle of September, but a possession call sparks fury out of Ian Lord as he's just giving it to the official, and the fans are right behind him. Six Nations will take it, though, as they come back with Randy Stotts here on the near side. Stotts flips it up to Dawson. Dawson cuts in, tries to go far side, but a beautiful stop and a better rebound control by Evan Kirk. Josh Hiltz not liked here at the PMC right now. Peterborough trying to go into the locker room with a lead. 2 minutes to play, though, in the second. Ball on the far side. Shot denied by Dylan Ward. Six Nations allowing the players to come on. 20 on the shot clock. Off the bench, late Jackson. Latest goal scorer. Now over to the near side. The low to higher riser. Doesn't work. Picked up by Dane Smith. Back over to Stotts. Stotts behind the back to Von Harris. Harris the shot, but nice sliding save by Evan Kirk. Pat Gregoire will join one of the Six Nations Chiefs in just a few moments as we get you set for our second intermission show. Pat will be on the floor talking to one of the Chiefs about how they are still alive, and I'm sure they'll talk about what they need to do in that third and how they want to win this game so badly to bring it back on Sunday night. 6 on the clock. Nice stop by Ward as he reaches out. Ball comes into his crease and he gets a fresh 30. That pass, nobody looking for Six Nations. Huge miscommunication as now Peterborough gets another possession. Right off the bench. Nice stop by Ward. He's got to get back. They score. You could see that one coming as Dylan Ward frustrated with himself, but they make him pay, and Peterborough has a 1-goal lead. The seesaw continues. Right here, a beautiful look into the middle. That's one stop, but unfortunately, Courier's on the doorstep. to make it 7-6. Well, it was tied just seconds ago, and Peterborough, if they win the draw here, you almost expect it has a chance to add another before the end of the period. Huge face-off for Six Nations. And possession going in their favor, so they get lucky. As Six Nations starts it here on the near side with Dawson. Dawson trying to get a shot on the cage, doesn't work. Benesh picks it up though. There's been an answer all night from both teams after the opposing team has scored. That time doesn't work as Evan Kirk has it. And with 37 seconds, Peterborough has the ball at half. With it is Evans. Evans gets it down low to Dixon. Dixon swings it all the way to the near side here. Katoni down low to the corner, 10 on the clock. Nice spin move into the middle. Ward tries to get the rebound himself with 16.3. Timeout called by Six Nations. Last shot possession will go to Dylan Ward and company. A thriller on our hands, 7-6 with 16.3 to go. Last play will be drawn up by John Tavares. Johnny on the bench writing up a play as you see the coaching staff for Peterborough figuring out what they will do as Dylan Ward out of the bench. On the bench, rather, will be 6-on-5 opportunity. As they look down to the floor, Craig Point joined by Austin Stotts, Jordan Durston, Jackson out there as well, Dan Dawson. And the other player, the big righty shot, Randy Stotts, who I have. Huge crowd on hand. A near sellout tonight. They announced the attendance, 34-64. Just a huge shout out to the fans here in Peterborough. If you ever want to witness a game, and if you've never been here, you have to get down here once. It is just a huge thing to check off your bucket list for a lacrosse fan. Last chance for Six Nations to tie it before the end of the period. Up top it comes to Randy on the near side. To the crease, doesn't work. Horn sounds, and that will bring us to the intermission. It's a 7-6 lead for the home side. And so far, Six Nations going back and forth with Peterborough, but a huge third period yet to come. And this has been a huge failure for Six Nations in games 1, 2, and 3. We'll see what happens here in game 5. Pat Gregoire is just teaming up with Dan Dawson to get an interview in a few moments, as we'll get you up-to-date stats before we start the third period. We'll talk about that second period. But in just a few moments, we'll send it down to the floor as Dawson is almost set to go for an interview as the fans make their way onto the turf here at the PMC. Pat Gregoire joined now by Dan Dawson of the Six Nations Chiefs.
Thank you very much, Spence, here with Dan Dawson. Dan, you guys are down 1 goal right now. What do you guys have to do in the next period to come out with a win and force Game 6?
We got to eliminate their transition. That's what's been killing us all series, and we got to be better with our decision making. Every time we make a bad decision, it seems to be in the back of our net. So we got to be a little bit better and possess that ball. And, that's a valuable thing when we have that ball on our stick. And right now, we're just being a little bit too lackadaisical on offense.
Now, on the defensive side of the floor, D's playing great, Dylan Ward's playing great as well. Does that give the offense a little bit of a confidence boost?
Yeah, I mean, they're doing their job. Our offense, we always say we want to be +5, and right now we're scoring 5, but we're giving up 3 in transition. That's not going to win you any game, so we got to be better.
Now, Dan, obviously you guys are trying to take it 1 game at a time, but is last year being able to come back 4 and win the series, does that play in your mind, or do you kind of forget about that?
No, I mean, that's a different team, both sides of the ball there, and for us, we focus on living another day, and that's Game 5, and then we worry about what happens after that. But right now, our focus is this third period, trying to get back in the game.
All right, well, good luck, and I'll get back to it. Dan Dawson focused on the task at hand, no doubt. We'll see if that task can be completed in the third period as the Six Nations Chiefs find themselves down 7-6 heading into the third period.
Well, the third period is just around the corner as we get you set for one of the periods that Six Nations has always struggled with. But let's first take a look at the second period stats and where we stand in this 7-6 game.
And I mean, second period there, pretty dominant period from the Lakers. 25 shots to 11. It's quite remarkable. The big thing, good takeaway, and the total face-off there. Six Nations starting to creep back in there. Like you said, Withers winning the dominant portion of these draws, but Six Nations doing a good job to try to win the loose ball battle, and that's where they got to start here, as it's do or die for 20 minutes.
We're underway. Six Nations this period running left to right in those bright white uniforms, and Peterborough in the flashy blue and red as they win the opening face-off back to safety, and they pull it here to the near side. Spencer Tangway alongside Pat Gregoire as we get you set for which could be one of the final periods in this MSL 2017 season. Ball to the far side. Now they bring it over here to the near side. Evans coming up top. Ward almost on top of the crease line, makes the shoulder save. Good stop by him, and the Chiefs have possession as Billy D. Smith just looking for an outlet. Couldn't believe how far Dylan Ward almost stepped out of the crease to make that save.
Yeah. Made the save, but the ball almost trickled in behind him because he was so far out of his crease.
That shot's going to work as a pass as they get it all the way back in here for Jackson. Jackson gets to Benesh, who just simply goes east-west. Shot wide, almost hits the official, and it'll be picked up by the Lakers as they make their way over the white line at midpoint. Shot, it's going to go wide. Picked up though right on the crease. Good stop, and it's smothered up in the crease by the Chiefs. Ball to the far side as the Chiefs look to answer, just like Dan Dawson mentioned in the intermission. Of course, Pat, he mentioned so many things, but look at this. Peterborough back the other way as they settle down, and Dawson, such a good speaker.
Oh, yeah.
Huge contributor to the game in lacrosse. Knows his team's in a do or die, but he knows there's so much more in the tank.
No doubt, no doubt. And the one thing he said that they have to do better is getting back and reverse transition, taking away those transition opportunities for the Lakers. In this period, 2 minutes in, they've taken away 2 really good scoring opportunities. So that's something that they're going to need to do.
An easy shot on net, though, gets a fresh 30 for Peterborough. Peterborough bounces it up top, and now they go to the far side. 20 on the shot clock. Near side, now they go up top. Evans is popping out here on the near side. Sean Evans. Dixon's getting tangled up. The shot's going to go wide. 8 on the clock now. Sean Evans once again wants it over here, but they stick it on the lefties. Dixon is just getting eaten alive by Sid Smith as he was not giving him any breathing room.
And one of the other things Dawson talked about, how well the goaltending and the defense is playing. That's a prime example right there. I think the offense has been playing pretty good, but he's, putting most of the onus on the guys up front.
Shot's going to go wide, and there's a missed opportunity by Six Nations. A shot wide off the mark as Peterborough now back the other way. Looking to take a 2-goal lead. I don't think we've seen a 2-goal lead all game, as it's been a seesaw battle back the other way. Come the Lakers now. And a bit aggressive pick set by the Lakers, and now they got to get back on D as Benesh has the ball at a midpoint. Ball starts with Jackson here on the near side and the lefties. Now they swing it through Randy Stotts. Stotts just causing havoc. Good shot. Rebound, though, controlled by Peterborough. And you almost, if you're Peterborough in a 1-goal lead, and this could be your final period, so many things could be flowing through your mind. When do you start playing more conservative? When do you keep going? But I don't think that'll even be a question. They know it could just take 5 seconds for Six Nations to score.
Yeah, no doubt. We saw that in, the last 3 minutes. A couple goals right there, back and forth, and that's the way the game has been. You can't take your foot off the pedal. Of course, you want to play a little bit conservative. Don't want to take as many chances. But as soon as you get away from your game plan, that's where a team like Six Nations going to burn you in transition, or they're going to capitalize on their chances. And I think this one's going to go right down to the wire.
Well, likewise, is it going to just echo your comments for both teams, as so many deadly threats as this is almost like an NLL All-Star game, you could call it.
Yeah.
As Dixon has it. Nice pass to the middle, but it's just miscued as they couldn't get the stick on it. The shot. Rebound as almost a wasted bullet, but it works out as a pass. Evan gets it now. Nice stick by Sid Smith to knock that down and take away the scoring opportunity. Lakers pull it out with 20 on the clock. Up to Sean Evans. Dixon getting no breathing room once again. This time it's Billy D. Smith all over him. Ward makes the stop as he has to almost fall backwards on the ball.
Seen that a couple of times from Ward, making the big save and almost trickling through, but that athletic, flexible body able to get to safe zone and just kind of cradle it in back to his stick.
Dawson across the floor to Benesh. Good stop by Evan Kirk. As Kirk, quick to his feet, tries to look down the floor, but safely they go to a two-pass method to get it up to half. And now the Lakers go back to work. 14:50 left to play in the third frame. 1 goal advantage for the Peterborough Lakers here at home in Game 5. Drawing the men out, trying to find that perfect time to pull the trigger. That pass was intended for Dixon, but he's got no room. Excuse me, not Dixon, as that shot is not going to work. 91 for the Peterborough Lakers, of course, in Joel Matthews. Nation's back the other way here on the near side. Here's Austin Stotts. Sure, he'd like to contribute and find one of his own. Only 1 assist in that opening Game 4 of his postseason off the crossbar. Nation's had a beautiful chance, but he just couldn't pull the trigger.
Yeah, great slide there from, I believe,
well, 15 on the clock. Nice ball movement off the post again. And the Lakers get bailed out by the post twice. Beautiful chances by Six Nations.
Couple of home team bounces. I think the slide there did come from Matt Gilray. Just being able to get in the face of the Six Nations shooter there, not to get that shot off the post.
To the near side, low shot. Never caught a piece of Ward. As it's a foot race for it. Kirk comes out and they elect Dane Smith once again. Just applies a little bit of pressure as they're going to roll it all the way down. And a shot clock violation.
Just a little bit too far for Dane Smith. If he would have chased that one down and on a breakaway, I like his chances coming on in. I said, I love having him out the D door, playing transition. He's such a threat. They got to try to get him going in this period here.
And that, of course, coming with Austin Stotts jumping in his spot. Dawson now just stiff-arming the pressure from the Peterborough Lakers. That pass was intended to go to the crease, but Dawson's unable to get that loose ball, and the Lakers come over half.
And there's those offensive mistakes again that Dan Dawson talked about. They're getting their looks. They're not getting the right shot selection that they do want. The chances are there. So you got to feel like maybe in this third period, some of those are going to sink for them, and it's just if they can cash in on their chances.
Dixon, a one-on-one right on top of Dylan Ward. Dixon dives across. Oh, gets in the crease, as that is his bread and butter. They call him Superman for a reason.
Almost automatic, we see at least one highlight reel goal or almost goal from him, or even an assist. Guy's absolutely electric.
Austin Stotts uses the seal from Ryan Benesh. Stotts up top. His shot is very powerful when he winds and fires with all his force, but it's off his stick. Now to the near side for Benesh. Across, just couldn't connect with Von Harris, who gets bumped off his man. Loose ball battle. Harris is being rubbed against the boards by 3 Lakers. And he takes a quick shot, but that'll get let go by the officials as possession was heading in favor of Peterborough.
Just a little love tap.
Well, I can't expect many penalties now unless something blatant is seen, as they're playing an excellent lacrosse game. And officials have done an excellent job all year long here in the MSL, letting them play, and that's why the quality is so fast-paced and so good. As here's an outside shot. Nice save by Ward to get a piece. Ball movement continues for the Lakers as they run up the time of possession here. Second look. As that one went out of play, they get the ball back. Off to the lefties, the shot, they score! The Lakers with a bouncer, and it beats Dylan Ward, 5-hole, who was stepping out. It's 8-6.
Great separation from Jones. As we'll see on the replay right here, Evans is going to feed this one over. And we'll get the ball right back up here to Jones, and he just pops off a little bit of separation off Bomberry. That gives him enough to wind up and take that deadly bounce shot that he has.
Well, our first 2-goal advantage of the contest belongs to the home side Lakers. Chiefs need to find an answer. Loose ball off the dot this time. Won by Withers. He gets bumped into the boards. Briar Jonathan has to chase. Withers coming right in. Twister.
Ooh.
But a nice stop by Ward.
That would have been absolutely massive for this Lakers team, but once again, Ward standing strong, and that's been his big part of his game, not just tonight, but all night. He lets one in, bounces back with a big save, calms his team right down.
Six Nations with the ball up top. Randy Stotts, the veteran, up to Dawson. Dawson, twist shot, never made it on the net. They got the ball back, though, with 7 on the clock. That's going to pop to the near side, controlled by Peterborough. Time becoming a factor as goals are hard to come by tonight. A low-scoring 8-6 game with 10 minutes to play. Ball to the far side for Peterborough. Jones has the latest to double the lead to make it a 2-goal advantage. Ward stretches the floor. Nice connection. What a stop by Kirk.
Massive stop from Kirk. He's been nothing short of great in this game.
That outside shot nearly found Twine, but it goes wide. Banesh and Stotts both working the near side with a pick and roll game. Stotts able to shovel off his man. He's being triple teamed now as they only have 7 on the clock. Stotts tried to get that one over, but never made it even close to the intended Craig point. And now the Lakers have a lot of fresh clocks back the other way. Ball starts up top. They get it down low as they really spread the floor here as they wait for the perfect opportunity to cut to the middle. Nation's getting pulled quite far out outside the dotted line. Ward makes that stop as there's no traffic. And he simply pushes the floor. Off the bench comes Jackson. Jackson plays catch with Banesh. Banesh cuts his way to the middle. Jackson dishes off for Randy Stotts. The shot off the arm of Evan Kirk, who's been flawless so far here in the third, really giving his team a chance to win.
Yeah, he's been, no doubt, a huge part why this team has a 2-goal lead. Like you mentioned, the first time we've seen a 2-goal lead, it's been such a seesaw battle. And I mean, if it wasn't for him in between the pipes right now, we could see a tie game, or maybe the Chiefs with an advantage right now.
Well, the third period has been the Achilles heel for Six Nations. Only 3 goals so far in the third in all 4 games combined. They have 0 so far as they need 3 to force a game 6, which will be Sunday night on the JVI Sports Network. That's if necessary, of course. Twist shot doesn't work. Rebound controlled by Peterborough. And they have numbers if they could push the floor. What a snag. Steinhaus! Oh, what a stop by Ward, who didn't move an inch. Mark Steinhaus could have lifted the roof completely off this building if he would have scored there.
That wouldn't have been a dagger because with how powerful this Six Nations offense and transition is, but that would have been a much bigger hill to climb, especially with goals being at a premium here tonight.
Outside shot blocked, goes right on top of the Six Nations bench. Buchanan picks it up. They get it to the far side, winding and firing from well outside. And Six Nations wisely just lets the ball roll all the way down into the far corner. Six Nations needs an answer as they send the offensive unit out. Here's Jackson with it up top to Banesh. Jackson, off-ball pick, trying to get open for Dan Dawson, who's got the ball here. Dawson looks to shoot, blocked, and it goes all the way back to center. Still got a lot of time, 13 on the clock for Six Nations. Banesh catches it. He's going to cut right in. Banesh, the shot stays out as Evan Kirk holds his ground.
Another huge save from Kirk, and not just the save, but being able to keep that ball out of the cage as it's rolling through his legs. I mean, he's been dialed in tonight.
And he's only had to be called upon 3 times in this series, whereas Dylan Ward has played every single minute, except I think 8, where Brandon Miller came in relief. 6:40 remaining here in the third. Outside shot denied by Evan Kirk. Loose ball picked up off the turf by Peterborough. And they simply move it up to the lefties on the far side. Flip pass, 3-on-2 the other way, right on the crease, scores! A huge goal for Peterborough. And Six Nations really finding themselves in a hole, down by 3.
I said it before, it's not a dagger by any stretch of the imagination, but this makes it such a bigger hill to climb. Beautiful dump feed by Sorensen. He gets it back, and instead of, after catching the low pass, bringing it up, goes with the underhand shot, and that beats Ward. Ward going over for a quick break and a water, as he certainly has earned it. Not taking anything away from him. He has been great in between the pipes tonight. But an unfortunate bounce for him, not being able to squeeze onto that one.
Well, this is where they really miss Jeremy Thompson.
Yes.
As every single face-off now means so much more, as there's not even 10 minutes to play. 6:24 is the official time left here in game number 5. Withers wins that one cleanly on the back of the stick, pops it out to himself, and they get it again, another possession. And the storyline of the dot is just going to be something the Six Nations Chiefs have to forget about. It's so crucial the wind draws, but they're really shorthanded. Up top, Peterborough sets things up. They're pretty close to punching their ticket, but the Chiefs still trying to find an answer. Ward looked behind him, but it was just creeping out on the doorstep. Gets it in time, and now David Brock simply moves it up the floor. Huge defensive chance for Peterborough. Six Nations trying to find that answer to claw themselves right back into it. Pass was intended to come to Jackson, but it's going to be picked up by Thurston. Thurston to the far side. Starts the shot, blocked. Loose ball. Steinhaus trying to find it off the turf. It's controlled, and Hope pulls it away.
Can't stress it enough. These block shots have been unbelievable tonight. They do it all season long. It's, you know, putting their body on the line. It's so cliche, but I mean, this defense has given it all tonight by blocking those heavy, heavy shots.
Six Nations needs a stop here. Dixon, good stop by Dylan Ward. One of their best players all season long, and he's really showing it wide tonight. Ward keeping him in it. There goes Ward to the bench. They're going to add a 6th attacker, and it will be Dawson. Dawson going right down Main Street with the ball now. To the far side for the lefties. The shot doesn't work as Evan Kirk stands up once again to make the save. Peterborough now pushing it right on their bench side. As Peterborough, the fans really supporting the team now as the announcer egging them on to make some noise with 4:30 remaining in the third. Here's Buchanan, one of the crucial players in this series. One of their top scorers in this series. 5 on the clock. As that doesn't work. Dylan Ward back to the bench. And you got to expect this now, Pat. Every single time Ward's going to be going to the bench.
No doubt, no doubt. You got to play with some urgency now. I know there's still 4 minutes left, but...
Well, the pass was trying to be thread the needle. Benesh right in the crease. They score. Crucial goal at a crucial time. And it's a 6-on-5 beauty for the Six Nations Chiefs.
And it had to be quick. You had to go at it quick. And that's exactly what they do. Dan Dawson, just a vintage Dan Dawson goal there on the crease. Uses that big body to reach around and score. And you had a feeling if there was a guy that was going to start a run, a potential run maybe we see here, it was going to start with big Dan Dawson.
Well, 2-goal game now as Six Nations jumps early on the draw, so Peterborough gets it. Withers' easiest draw win tonight as they go to the far side. Ball starts down low. They get it for Evans. Evans settling things down for Peterborough as they try to kill as many 30s and maybe put another one past Ward if they could. Sean Evans, two-man game here. Sid Smith following Dixon right to the net. Loose ball, picked up by, I believe that's Merrill. Merrill now pushes the floor up to Dane Smith. Smith on top of Evan Kirk, but he just fires it high.
Just missed that corner there. Most players going 1-on-2, taking a shot when you need a goal desperately. But with Dane Smith, I'm letting him take that shot 10 times out of 10.
Ball to the far side for Peterborough. 10 seconds on the shot clock. 3 minutes exactly remaining in regulation time. Peterborough just going to pull things way out and end the shot clock. So Dylan Ward straight to the bench. They'll play 6-on-5 once again. And automatically Six Nations deep in the Peterborough end, trying to find an answer. Off the bench comes Durston. Ball's up top with Dan Dawson. Dawson to Banesh the shot. Right up top though, Evan Kirk. He's going to look down the floor. Back is Dane Smith. Heads up. A big hit, but he's still able to control. A huge break for Peterborough as they retain possession. Fresh 30. Ward back to the bench. Up top it comes, Dawson. Dawson zings one to the far side. He's got it up top. Dan Dawson behind the back pass. The shot, nice stop by Kirk. Rebound control, fresh 30 for the Chiefs. That pass blocked. And they have a 2-on-1 with a chase. Peterborough right on the crease. Oh, he hits the goalpost. That would have been the icing on the cake, but they can't find an answer to beat the empty net. Steinhaus pulls it away. He goes for the change, and they have possession deep. A minute and a half left to play. They're inches away from clinching a chance at the Mann Cup. Evans shoves off his man. Good battle. Double teaming Evans now as that pass off the turf. And Six Nations calls timeout with $1:15 left to play in the third. You can't ask for a more exciting Game 5, which feels like a Game 7 atmosphere. Peterborough so close. They can feel it in their hands, and Six Nations trying to grasp the last straw to stay alive. Ward, of course, will most likely come out of the net again, and they'll go 6-on-5. Ball will start right in front of the Six Nations bench in the middle of the floor. Austin Stotts will start with it. Fans, of course, won't be able to see the Mann Cup be risen here if Peterborough does advance and move on, as it's in New Westminster this year out west. Salmon Belly fans, I'm sure, are tuning in tonight at JVI to see who they may play, as Six Nations starts with the ball. Here's Stotts. We're almost set to go. Ward's out of the net. Evan Kirk's in. The whistle's blown. We're underway. Clock starts to tick. Ball to the far side. Stotts to Randy Stotts. The shot off a defender, so the possession stays Six Nations ball. 1:08 left to play. The shot to the crease doesn't work. Controlled by Six Nations. Up top for Dane Smith. Now to Randy Stotts. Stotts is up top. Looks to shoot. Blocked. Picked up by Stotts. Stotts to the near side. Shot. Evan Kirk right into the square. Makes the save. Beautiful square save by Evan Kirk. Fresh 30. Controlled. 46 left to go in the game. Dawson on the far side. Dawson. Quick pass up top to Stotts. To the crease. Back to Dan Dawson. He's trying to find an answer. 20 on the shot clock. The shot's wide. Jackson has it. Fresh 30. Evan Kirk standing tall for Peterborough. 30 on the clock. Six Nations got it. Randy Stotts to the near side. Back to the crease. And his shot is wide as Evan Kirk is just down and out right now. Finally getting back to his feet. Fans are on their feet at the PMC. In all alone on Kirk, but he makes the stop again. 12 seconds to go. The Chiefs need a goal here. The shot's not going to work. 5 on the clock. Peterborough, they get a quick whistle as the Peterborough Lakers will run out the clock. The Six Nations Chiefs don't have an answer. Peterborough will play New Westminster in the Mann Cup. What a game and what a series. Final score tonight, it's the Lakers 9 and the Chiefs 7. Laker fans have been waiting a long time, of course, for another Mann Cup. And they have a chance. They'll play the New Westminster Salmon Bellies. Pat Gregoire down on the floor. We'll get post-game remarks, comments, and post-game interviews from both sides in just a few minutes. But take it all in, Laker fans, and we thank the fans of JVI for joining us all year long of MSL coverage and OLA coverage, of course. But a huge, huge crowd on hand tonight and an atmosphere, a huge lacrosse atmosphere for this game. These two teams don't like each other, and they went at it all year long. Six Nations only won one of those games. As you see the final again, 9-7. So the Lakers win Ontario. And they announce the player of the game in building. And the player of the game, Adam Jones. Why not, of course. So many goals. I believe his total 3 goals he finished with and 2 assists. As Adam Jones, of course, recently acquired by the Toronto Rock, will look to do that with his National Lacrosse League team. So many good offensive looks by Peterborough tonight, and their defense, that's what won it, I feel. So many block shots for Peterborough, so many last-minute efforts to make plays you don't really see every now and then. They came up huge. As we get a good look down to the floor as Peterborough about to accept the trophy, as all fans still here in attendance on their feet want to see this in person, as the Chiefs just want to get off the floor. Great respect by Six Nations and Peterborough as you just look at the rosters of both teams and the irony and camaraderie between these two clubs. We mentioned it in the last broadcast in Game 4, how Six Nations goaltenders and Peterborough's goaltenders know each other so well, but both Peterborough goaltenders at one time played for the Six Nations Chiefs in Ontario finals against the very same Peterborough Lakers. So both goaltenders have been on both sides of the floor, and so has many of the players. As the Chiefs' season will end a bit short, and there will be a new national champion. As we will send things down now to floor level and get the rest of the festivities started with trophy presentations and post-game interviews with Pat Gregoire.
I think fans, it's time to give both teams a nice round of applause. That was an awesome series. I think Six Nations deserves a nice a round of applause for the great game they played in the series. And we're going to present some awards here.
You want to do the MVP?
And the MVP of the playoffs from your Peterborough Lakers, Sean Evans.
You do both of them? Players up one by one. Yeah, medals. And then we'll do
If you want to do the silver medals individually, so, or the gold medals individually, so we just want to start calling players up?
Peterborough.
Can we ask the Peterborough players to make their way over to the table to receive your medals? It's okay, boys. Don't be shy.
One by one numerically. Announce them.
Well, there's no shock that Sean Evans wins the playoff MVP. Sean Evans, of course, the league-leading and career-leading goals, assists, penalty minutes, games played, and points. And he did it again in the MSL playoffs. Evans, the hometown favorite here, as Six Nations looks and they respect Peterborough by staying on, as a beautiful trophy and a beautiful celebration on the floor. Not a bad year, though, for the Six Nations Chiefs, as it's their 25th anniversary, and they had so much to play for, and they came out. A couple of injuries, of course, hurt them, but this man right here of Dylan Ward, a guy that stood tall all year long, and he's their go-to guy. They have Brandon Miller on the bench, but with Dylan Ward, he's their guy that they turn to every night, and he is a respectable man, a world-class man off the floor as well. Can't say enough about these two teams and MSL lacrosse, how it's growing in Ontario. And on behalf of JVI, of course, we wish Peterborough the best of luck in New Westminster. Always an exciting time when champions get crowned, and this is the last box lacrosse championship in Ontario, as provincials for minor lacrosse has finished. Junior A champions, of course, this year were the Six Nations Arrows. Junior B, Orangeville Northmen. Junior C, the Brantford Warriors. A huge shout out to them, as they had a huge year. And now the MSL Major Series champions have been crowned, as you got a good look at them there with all the youngsters and fans supporting them. A great team photo as Peterborough takes home the Major Series Lacrosse Championship. The smiles on the faces, of course, of all the players, the staff, and the fans. It's remarkable how many fans still here taking all this in for the Peterborough Lakers. I mentioned it earlier in the broadcast. Lacrosse fans around the world, get to Peterborough if you've never been here. It's one of those arenas. All the arenas in Ontario that I could talk about for hours, of course, the Bunny Barn, Tony Rose, and Orangeville, Brampton Memorial. This one right here, the PMC. Another one that probably has the best atmosphere for lacrosse when it's filled right up like it was tonight. Pat Gregoire will just be grabbing some players momentarily to do a post-game interview, as we will keep live coverage of the post-game celebration, as Pat Gregoire will interview Robert Hope, team captain, and get his emotions on how he just won a MSL final here in Ontario.
Thank you very much, Spencer. Joined by captain of the Peterborough Lakers, Robert Hope. I know this isn't the ultimate goal, but it's got to feel pretty good winning an Ontario championship, especially in front of all these people.
Yeah, it was one of our steps along the way that we've planned on. I mean, for the last couple of years, obviously they got the better of us last year, and to be able to come back and do it in the fashion that we did it, like a whole team effort and younger legs and some movement, it was great for C. Again, like you said, we want the one out west, and that's our end goal. But again, this is a step in that process.
Now you talk about last year, a couple of key players added this year, and Kyle Buchanan and even picking up Curtis Nixon. Do you feel like that was what was able to put you guys over the top to be so dominant this season?
Yeah, I think our young guys also did a great job that maybe get overlooked because they might play a more of a role that's really not seen on the score sheet all the time. But I thought those guys did a great job adding a little bit of speed to our game through transition, getting the ball up the floor, and obviously playing a great defensive game. So again, like we had a great team last year too, and it was a little sour taste in our mouth still this year. But again, happy that we were able to come, and hopefully we can just keep building and go out west.
Now, a guy who has been here for a long time, Sean Evans, playoff MVP, another notch in his belt. What's it like playing alongside a guy like that?
Yeah, my whole life I've been able to watch him. When he was in junior, he's a couple of years older than me, and then be able to play with him once I got to senior. He's a great teammate. He's a great player. He's a great person to have in the room. Again, he just keeps bringing in the awards, but again, that's not what he worries about. He worries about the championships, and that's why he's a great guy. He wants to win first, and whatever he can do to add to that and add to our team winning, the team concept, that's what he does. That's why, he's a great person to have on our team.
No doubt about that. Congrats on the win, and good luck out west.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll send it now up to Spencer, who's up top.
Well, thank you, Pat, and so many great words that he just echoed about Sean Evans. And he mentioned the youngsters, of course, talking about Matt Gilray and Holden Katoni, two guys that have really been protected. They both played for the Junior A Peterborough Lakers. Both come up here and shown they deserve a spot and shown why they are the future of this program. Of course, they will go out west, and they will begin the Mann Cup, which begins in a week, against the New Westminster Salmon Belly. So all the Salmon Belly fans who were wondering who they will play, it is official now. It will be Peterborough. You can print the tickets and print the t-shirts. Peterborough against New Westminster. A lot of red and blue in that game. The man who stopped so many stops tonight, and we will go down to floor level as Pat Gregoire, joined by tonight's winning goaltender, Evan Kirk.
Thanks very much, Spencer. Yes, joined by Evan Kirk, the winner of tonight's contest, In Between the Pipes. Evan, not taking anything away from your game, you're great, but how much easier is your job when those defenders in front of you are soaking so many shots?
Oh, it's so essential. It gives me a mental break, less shots. It's just a huge, it's a huge mind thing for me. Those guys, you can't say enough about them. Like you said, it's a big part of the game and takes saves off me.
And no doubt, obviously, this isn't the ultimate goal. You guys are happy, but you can tell you're not content. But it's still got to feel pretty good being an Ontario champ, going back to the Mann Cup, and also clinching it here on home floor.
Yeah, it's great to get it here. These fans are so great. They do so much for our team and the city. Six Nations is a great team. Not to undermine anyone out west. That's a hard battle to come out of the East, and we're just looking forward to what's next.
Now you talk about that Six Nations team. Does it make it a little bit sweeter, after what happened to you guys last year, being up 3-0, them end up coming back, winning here? Does that add a little bit of motivation to you guys coming into this season?
It's been the past 2 years. We beat them and we were so high coming in, out west, and we ended up losing out there. Coming back, and they took it to us 4 games. So it's not only last year; it's the last couple of years. But it's definitely meaningful to do that.
All right, well, good luck out west, and congrats on the win,
Appreciate
Evan.
it. Thanks.
Evan Kirk, the winning goaltender for tonight. Him and Matt Vince will definitely be huge parts as they head out west to take on the New West Salmon Bellies in the Mann Cup Finals. I'm going to now send it up to Spencer, who's going to send us on home. Spencer.
Well, thanks again to Pat, as the Peterborough Century 21 Lakers are your MSL champions of 2017. Peterborough won the Coaches of the Year. They won the MSL Ontario Championship. Final score in Game 5, which was the clincher, 9-7 in favor of the Lakers. On behalf of everyone here at JVR, our producer Gary Morris and director Alex Frazzo, our camera operators, I'm Spencer Tangway. Pat Gregoire was on the floor. Have a good night, and we thank you for another exciting year of MSL lacrosse.